Hi, welcome back to another episode of the IPRA Rec Room. As you can see, we're not in the usual studios. We took it on the road today. We're trying something a little bit new. We figured we're Parks and Rec, might as well get out into the parks. So for this episode, we asked Lacy and Anne. We were like, "What are your interests? Where would you like to shoot this podcast?" And you picked hiking.
Yeah, I like hiking.
Can you tell us why?
Just getting back into nature and just keeping things really simple. I don't know. I like to be away from the hustle and bustle of what I'm normally in. So
Now, Anne, you made it known that you're not a fan of hiking. Is that correct?
That's not at all true. You've been misinformed and I have been misrepresented. No, I do really love hiking. I hiked a lot as a kid and I do some hiking now. I love hiking and I also love being outside. I think it's a great way to kind of break away and get some perspective on what's really important.
Well, thank you. Well, you're here first. I'm spreading fake news live on the IPRA podcast. So now, why don't you just give us a brief introduction about yourselves? How you got into Parks and Rec, maybe some info about what you do at your current agency and what got you there.
Cool. Starting it off. Okay. I work with Northwest Special Recreation Association as the superintendent of development. So I'm actually overseeing their fundraising arm called Special Leisure Services Foundation. I've been there about 3.5 years now. And prior to that, I was doing work in the private sector. So doing a mortgage branch, I ran a couple of restaurants. Keeping it varied. I've loved my time with IPRA and being in the field so far. I got involved with IPRA actually through my current job. My predecessor was running the silent auction at conference to raise funds for the foundation. And so when I took over, I just kind of inherited that too and kind of fell in love with just the people, like the personalities on the foundation and the work that they were doing. So I wanted to get more involved.
I have them.
It's all right.
I kind of fell into Parks and Rec. So I was a stay-at-home mom. I was looking for something to do. My kids were getting older, starting to go to school. So I wanted to get into a field that I'd be able to give back kind of thing, be of service. And so I started out at the Vernon Hills Park District as a part-time instructor. I got started in water aerobics. And then the full-time position opened up for the fitness supervisor. And I got that, and now I've kind of worked my way up. I'm still in Vernon Hills, but now I'm running the whole facility. I run the fitness center there.
Awesome. Well, since we're out on the trail, I say let's get walking and exploring. Let's see, we'll talk and see what we come across. So today we're at Spring Valley Nature Center. Some of you may have noticed because you're savants when it comes to picking out parks, I'm sure, because you've been to all of them. But what I wanted to ask you is, what's a park that's near and dear to you both? Could be a park, could be a facility in Parks and Rec, could be the one you work at, could be one that you went to as a kid. Do either of you have one that's super meaningful to you?
Not a local one.
Not a local one? It doesn't have to be local. It could be even just a place, something somewhere that's special to you, that's recreation adjacent, let's say even.
Okay. I know one that's nearest and dearest to my heart. So when I finished my bachelor's degree, I took myself on a trip to Hawaii. I went by myself, and probably it sounds lame, but the most magical place I've ever been was Haleakala. So you go up to the summit of this volcano at sunrise, and I went with a tour, and when official sunrise hits, the 2 tour guides that we were with were singing a chant to the sun as it was rising. It was just really cool. I love how Hawaiians have such a love and respect for nature and what is near and dear to them. And you can feel it when you're there. And I feel like that's something that gets lost a lot. So it was nice to connect back with that and be out there and be part of it.
Yeah, it's really cool. You definitely don't get that around here.
No,
it would be
definitely
a lot weirder if it would happen at Schaumburg Park District, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
No offense to Schaumburg, but it would just be weird. And how about you?
Yeah, Hawaii, that's pretty impressive. I think I have to go back to my roots. I'm originally from the Quad Cities in Illinois, so I lived really close to Blackhawk State Park. And I spent so much of my childhood there. And, I was part of like a bicycle gang. Not room bike, but they're like ding ding bicycles. And so the entry to this park, if you went the back way, there was this infamous, we called it Dead Man's Curve. So it was like gravel, like a gravel road with super steep turn, and we would always biff it on our bikes, and I would inevitably like end up with some sort of battle wound from Dead Man's Curve. But I did summer camps there, and when I go home, my family and I will do hiking. We hike for fun.
All right.
Through Blackhawk State Park.
I'm gonna insert the screenshots from the emails that like you clearly stated
Yeah.
you were against the hike.
And you may not lay this down.
And I may or may not have had one or two slightly illegal bonfires after dark, like in high school at that park. But
best.
they're the best.
Yeah.
So lots of memories there, lots of memories being outside, and lots of fondness just being in parks in general.
Yeah. No, isn't it like so funny? Like when you think about it now, like when you're in the parks and like actively using them when you're a kid, like you don't really notice them. They're just kind of
Yeah.
part of your world.
Yep.
Which is super small at that point. Like, for one example, for me at least, would be back home. I lived in Elk Grove Village. There was like a tiny little like cut through that would go to me junior high, and in there was like a natural area. We would explore up and down the creek and stuff like that, and then there would, of course, be where the teenagers hung out, where there would be empty bottles of whatever, and like old couches that they found from somewhere. But like, to me, like I never thought I was in a park. It was just that was part of it, and it's just kind of fun. And then honestly, here I know Kim, who's our wonderful camera woman today. Me and her grew up coming to Spring Valley Nature Center for like school trips and stuff. Kim, you said you did photography here, and yeah, I remember my kindergarten teacher, Miss Sullivan, got chased by a goose here
Oh, geez.
and bit. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
These are scary.
Yeah, right? Shout out Miss Sullivan. She brought llamas into our kindergarten room one time.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
it was pretty cool. And now I'm hijacking the interview, so I'm going to shut up now. But let's keep moving. All right. So you both are involved with IPRF, and you're newly elected to the Board of Trustees, right? So as like new IPRF board members, what are you hoping to accomplish? Well, first, why did you decide to get involved? How did you get involved? And then, what are you hoping to accomplish while you're at IPRF?
I went first on the last one.
Oh, okay. Well, I have my. I got involved with IPRF so a couple of years ago at conference, I got the Young Professional of the Year award. And with that award came a $500 scholarship. And I was told that I was the first person to accept that scholarship. So before or since. And so I got involved after I received that scholarship. I think it was Jared that had reached out to me and asked if I wanted to get more involved. And so I started getting involved with events through that. So I just thought it was a great, I thought that the foundation it has a great mission. And for someone who, my reasoning for getting involved in Parks and Rec was that I wanted to be of service. It seemed like a great fit.
Awesome. And?
I originally got involved through the events committee too. Part of when I joined NWSRA, the person who'd been doing my job had also been running the silent auction, so I just kind of took it over. And I really enjoyed doing that. Like I said before, I really enjoyed working with the people, and so it seemed like a no-brainer to accept the nomination to join the board when it came up. And I think part of what I'd like to do on the board or help do is see how I can take what I'm doing in the fundraising side for the SRA and how can that translate into achieving more success for the IPRF Foundation too. Like getting more, as Lacy said, more people to know about the scholarships and they're available, advertising that importance and also turning that around to secure more regular donations for the foundation moving forward.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that don't know what IPRF does. And a while back, we did a survey to see, with the FM section specifically, we did a survey to see, do people know what it is and do they know that this is something they can take advantage of? So I felt like kind of a responsibility as somebody who received the scholarship to make sure that other people that want those opportunities are able to take advantage of them.
Right? Free money.
Free money.
Apply. It's a quick application. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you guys talking about your experience at IPRF. So if somebody wanted to get involved in IPRF, how would they go about doing that?
You can reach out to any of the trustees. I may be speaking out of turn, but I'm going to do it anyway. You can reach out to any of the trustees. They're listed on the IPRF website, which is linked to the IPRA website. So check out both those websites. But any of us can get you connected with any of the committee leaders. So if you want to get involved with events, that's awesome. But there are also other great committees that you could start volunteering for and start giving back to IPRF and to IPRA. And we're fun people. Maybe not Lacy, but...
We're definitely keeping that. So now you know. All right, now is our next segment. Least favorite and most favorite IPRF trustee. Go. Well, we already know your least favorite.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait, are we really doing this?
No.
Wait, past or present?
Well, all right.
No, just give me the shovel.
All right, fair enough. We'll have to save that for another episode. All right, let's keep moving. All right, so other than like walking down trails, which is fun, this has been a blast. What do you do for fun? Like, what do you do to recreate and wind down? Lacy, why don't you lead us off?
Oh, okay. Honestly, like, I know you said besides walking on trails, but that really is like my favorite part. I love going for like kind of the more extreme hiking. So, like I recently went out to Portland and did some hiking out there. A few weeks ago, I was in the Grand Canyon. So I'm just kind of like actually discovering my love for that and just kind of seeing what different parts of the country have to offer. And then I do like reading. Other than that, my time is at the moment still taken up by working on my master's. So I don't have a whole lot of recreation time at the moment.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, in my past life and hopefully sometime again soon, was really into the clarinet. So I actually studied music performance, clarinet performance. Squidward, oh, you're so young. So I studied that in school, but I also got a minor in botany because I really loved field taxonomy and identifying plants, which is kind of something when I was a kid, my dad would take me out and he would quiz me on all the local plants. So
that's how you knew there's all the blackberry plants out here.
that's how I knew there's so many blackberry plants out here. And also because I'm just a snacky person. But yeah, that's also like part of my love of outdoors, and it's kind of feels like meant to be to end up in Parks and Rec in a way.
Awesome. Well, I've got one more question for each of you. Favorite book or current book you're reading, since you mentioned you love reading, or the last book you read?
The last book I read, what was it? I think the last book I read it's called The Hate You Give. Mm-hmm. And it was actually a book that my kids were reading in high school. So some of the books that they're reading, they get to keep the books. So they're kind of passing them along to me. And that was a really interesting book.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll throw it on the IPRA. We should start an IPRA reading list.
There you go.
Throw it on
Yeah.
there. All right. Now for Anne, this is going to be a tough one. Favorite plant and why?
Ooh.
Oh, that's not a hard one. It's bloodroot.
Oh.
I've got it tattooed right here on my arm. Tattoos are in now. You know, it's the 2020s.
Yeah.
But we grew it in my yard. Ever since I was a little kid, there was a tree that my dad planted like the day I was born from an oak tree. And then he planted a native shade garden underneath it. And bloodroot, when it came up, was just the most beautiful. And it has this little like yellow center. And actually the root of it is blood red. And I think it has some sort of like, I don't know, like druggy property that I never partook of because I was a child and I'm responsible. But I just thought it was really interesting and beautiful. And I always looked forward to seeing it every year.
That's really cool. And it's a plant I'd never heard of.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
So I'm going to look that up. I just did hear about a skunk plant or a skunk root or something like that.
That doesn't sound so pleasant.
I know, right? I guess it's one of the first plants to come up in spring is what the internet told me. But
It must be true. It's from the internet.
yeah, it's
Google
definitely.
knows a lot.
If I've taught you anything, is trust ChatGPT like it's the Bible, and whatever. No source is a bad source. Well, thank you both for sharing that. So last question, we wrap this up with all of our guests. What is your dream rec room or dream recreational space? And we're going to go back to you.
Shoot. I mean, I think I've said I love plants. I love learning about plants. And actually, part of one of the new projects that I'm working on at work is with NWSRA, they're doing an accessible greenhouse. It's a project we're doing with the Wheeling Park District, and I actually finished construction this spring. So we're going to do an open house, probably late spring, early summer. But they can grow year round, learn about sustainability, people with disabilities working alongside seniors and preschoolers, and there's going to be composting bins. I'm such a sucker for a worm bin. Like, castings are our life, so I'm really excited about that project. Yeah.
All right. I don't know, a recreation space. I don't know. I think my happiest place is when I'm near water. So it doesn't seem to matter what kind of water it is. Like, just even this lake out here, anytime I am surrounded by the trees, and especially running water, I think that's my happiest place. And just listen to the sounds.
That sounds peaceful.
Yeah.
Honestly, right now, pretty peaceful out here. Wonderful day. And we've reached the end of the trail. So thank you both for joining us today. It's been truly a pleasure. Do you have anything to plug, whether it's something going on at your agency, anything personal that anybody you want to shout out? Now's the time to do it.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, man. It's free promo, Lacy. Well, Special Leisure Services Foundation, the nonprofit fundraising arm of NWSRA, is hosting 6 golf outings this season throughout the northwest suburbs. So please come out, support a great cause. Even if you're not in our footprint, why not? Come golf on a beautiful day, get out of the office. SLSF.me. No, nothing, Lacy?
Mine would probably be for IPRF. So I would say get to the website, apply for the scholarships, donate if you aren't somebody that wants to accept a scholarship, donate for somebody who would like to accept a scholarship, and just be part of a good cause.
Thank you.
I second that.
All right, and my promo, because I need one, IPRA Community coming out within the next week or two. I'm going to give myself 2 weeks just in case something goes wrong. And IPRA University is coming out shortly thereafter, later this year. So we look forward to seeing you online, but in the meantime, get outside, go enjoy a trail. The weather's nice. Learn about some plants, I don't know, or read a book under a nice tree.
That's right.
We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for joining us.